All right, I'm starting to record the meeting now, also for the people that can't attend. So good morning again. Tuesday morning, 29th of December, 9 o'clock. I wasn't sure how many people was going to attend today, so I'm very, very pleased that we've got almost 20 people on board here. Thank you so much for taking the time out to join us. In the executive meeting at 8 o'clock this morning, also, Kerry just arrived back from holiday, so she couldn't attend. So in the meeting, we spoke a little bit about personal recovery and what that means for us. And I want to go to you guys this, as well with the same question. So part of my personal recovery are these Tuesday morning meetings. I look forward to seeing you guys, and I always have something that I want to share with you. So without this today, I would have really had a gap in my day and in my week. So it is part of my personal recovery. It's not separate. You know, we're not sitting here talking about spreadsheets and royalties and business stuff. We are here talking about human things, and we are really connecting with each other during this time. So it's not work for me. It's part of my personal recovery plan, and thank you for being part of that plan. All right, so my personal recovery, I've been sitting on my deck chair a little bit, sometimes drinking wine before 12 o'clock, having afternoon naps, visiting my mom on Christmas Day, seeing my mom on Sunday again, and she's in such good condition during the season, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm going for walks with my little doggy. I haven't really gotten to writing my book, anything further on my book, so I've put that just in a bubble. I've spent a lot of quiet time, and I've prayed a lot. And, you know, talking about praying is always you talking. And for me, during this time, when I have quiet time, then I'm listening. I've talked enough to God specifically, and now I'm listening, and I'm taking more time now to listen than to talk. So, and that's been an important part of this period for me, is just to take that time, that quiet time, to listen and to seek and to try to understand. All right, so very excited today. Last night I went to bed with like in Afrikaans they say, a whole call op my maag. I don't know how you would translate that into English. Because of the speech of the president, and people are on holiday, they want to go to the beach. People have spent money to go to the beach. It's the holiday spirit. This is where people get their energy from for the new year. And now that's been taken away. So I wasn't sure how that's going to impact a lot of people on their mental health, on the level of mental health. Not having this break and being unclear of what's lying ahead in 2021 now with a sudden change to level 3 lockdown. So that just brought me to a couple of ideas. Right at the beginning of lockdown, I think in our first meeting that we had, we said we are going to operate from a calm perspective rather than a chaotic perspective. And that's worked for us because we never fell into the chaos part of that. We remained calm all the time. So then, just by chance, I was listening to a webinar about mental health last week. And this sort of basic idea also popped out. I find myself sometimes really anxious about the end of the month, about my payments, and about registration forms, and about the end of January. And then it takes me out of this moment where I'm trying to find the peace and the center. So during this webinar, a great thing came out that I didn't know of. Well, I knew of it, but now it's got a name. So the only control that you ever have over everything is today and is in this moment. You can't worry now about what's happening at the end of January in terms of, are you going to pay your bond or not? So if you find yourself, or if I find myself towards the end of January, worrying about situations and scenarios that's going to be there, they call that the anxiety gap. So now it's got a name for me. Whenever I find myself in that anxiety gap, I just bring myself to this day and this moment, and grateful for what I have right now and for what I can do right now with what I have. And that anxiety gap can drive you absolutely crazy. So going back to calm and chaos. Right at the beginning, this was our strategy. And I want to just today leave this with you, that we have to remain calm. We mustn't fall back into the chaos. So what all goes with calm? Calm goes, first of all, the thing that popped into my mind is faith, where chaos goes with fear. Calm goes with faith and chaos goes with fear. Calm also goes with a plan and being proactive. Chaos goes with reacting to situations and not having a plan. And by this planning, specifically, financial planning and budgeting. If you don't have a financial plan and a budget, you're going to live in chaos. So just a few things, I can add a lot more to that. But just a different mindset of calm on the one side, having a plan and all working together on the same plan, and having faith in what's happening. And being very specific about your financial plan. Rather than on the other side, creating anxiety, falling into the anxiety gap, and reacting to things and not having a plan. So, guys, having these meetings for us and putting together a combined plan on a weekly basis and removing the anxiety and the chaos and staying, because everything out there is chaos. If we can remain calm with our plan and our strategy, we are going to be okay. All right, so new words today, anxiety gap. If you are starting to think about how you're going to pay your bond at the end of January, bring yourself back to today and pour yourself a glass of wine and go and sit in the sun. All right. Runelli's also here. I see Runelli popping up on the screen now. She's been here all the time. Thanks for joining us, Nelly.
Hi, morning everyone. Good to see all of you.
You must show us your video to show us your fabulous new look.
I don't know if I look so fabulous today. I'm sitting here without makeup. Yeah, there we go. It's a very morning look.
Oh, I love that new look. All right, guys. So thank you so much again for joining us on the 29th of December. It's right in the middle of the festive season. It's right in the middle of the holidays. So to have, 20 people on the screen here today makes it worth our while. And we are going to be okay. All right, so let's go to a couple of you. I would like to go to Anke and Sanet in the Strand. I believe I know they've got their own private beach with their own lodge. They're on the beach. So the beaches being closed doesn't affect them. So what does it feel like to be so rich?
Well, my mom said this morning she actually came into the room and yeah, she was just naming a few things that she's grateful for. That we have a roof over our heads and that we are healthy and that our family could be together. And yeah, I think you must just, if you don't know anything, just write down 3 or 5 things that you're grateful for and you're thankful for. So yeah, that's why we're rich.
Yeah, absolutely. That is the right answer. Rich is not having a private beach. Rich is having but having a private beach helps, eh? Right, now we've lost their audio. All right, I want to go to Jacqueline. Jacqueline in Queensland, visiting her family. Tell us about what you're grateful for, Jacqueline, and how your personal recovery is going.
I'm grateful for my sister. So I haven't seen my sister for 3 years, not because of COVID, because obviously she left and immigrated, one of the reasons we were in Australia, but it's been tough because our parents were meant to be here. So my parents obviously live in South Africa and they were meant to fly out in November. So they would have been with us. So it's hard to manage that scenario because obviously now my mom hasn't seen us. But we do lots of video calls, and today we baked cookies with Granny. So like it's just one of those, again, like looking for your moments. I sent my mom an article last night saying like what it was like 20 years ago when families were apart all over the world, and they spoke about like writing post letters daily, and it would take 30 days to get to an international country and so forth. And like today we got to bake our cookies with Granny, you know, so we just set up the PC and she baked with us and she told us what recipe to use and what ingredients. So like in that moment I was just like, hey mom, like look what we can do based on what we have. So also just seeing those moments, I know it's been tough, and it's been a hard season for us not having my parents here because we were very close, but just being able to see the benefit of what life allows us to do. So we had a good time. We baked about 50 cookies and we ate all of them today. So yeah, the Christmas season's been good to our tummies.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks, Jacqueline. How far are you away from the beach?
Very close, like 5 minutes, very,
Okay.
very close. So we've been on the beach often, which is great, but my youngest has just learned to swim and she thinks she's an athlete. So she, so I'm in the waves like all the time. So it's lots of fun and she's my wild child. But yeah, she's in the waves, swimming lots. So mom's in the waves, full of sand all the time, but it's been good. Yeah.
Wonderful. Send us a selfie next time you're swimming in the waves, all right?
I will. I will.
Brilliant. All right. I want to go to Tannie Pietri quickly. So, opening the conversation with the president's speech and whatever, Pietri, you've got 2 positive COVID cases in your house. So it's not something now that's just in China anymore. It's now something that's really close to home.
Yeah, it was a challenging 13 days so far, but luckily we are. Oh.
Guys, that's just the reality of what we are working with. And Pietri, we are there for you. We appreciate everything that you do and also your participating in the meeting. Everything will be fine because your faith is great. Okay, so let's go to Tannie Haneli.
Good morning.
Good morning. How's things with you?
Everything's going great here. We had a lovely Christmas with the family that was here. And yeah, we just be thankful for every day that you have with your loved ones. That's it.
So what are your feelings for January, which is from what, Friday is the 1st of January. Next week is the first week of January. How do you feel about that, Haneli?
Well, I'm quite positive. New year, new things. Just take it a day at a time. My staff has already contacted me and say, when are we starting? Are we starting on the 4th? Because some schools are opening on the 6th. So yeah, they are up and running. I think every spark of hope, just stay positive. Everything, it will never be the same maybe again, but we start from scratch, start as if it's a new business. Work hard. That's my motto for next year.
Brilliant. Thanks, Haneli. Just a thought that pops up. The schools are opening officially on the 27th of January.
Yeah.
So all our planning will be done around the official opening of the schools on the 27th of January. If some schools are opening earlier, we'll work with that variable as it comes along. But for consistency and to be proactive and to have a plan, we work according to that date.
Yeah, I think the schools here, they just wanted to start early because they were closed for a long time and they want to get ahead of everything. Because it's the preschools, the primary schools, they open normal, like government schools. It's just the preschools that start up early.
No, for sure. But all of them will probably be starting at different days And that
Yeah.
we can't plan according to their opening days. We must plan according to one formal uniform system. So, and that
Yeah.
will create the calm for us.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Annelie. All right, is Mr.
Thanks,
Barnabas still here? Mr. Barnabas, with your fancy shirt today?
Hello, good morning, everyone. Nothing much happening here in Lesotho. Everything is calm. We've been given the chance to open schools, but schools are the ones who don't want to open because they don't want to encounter excess costs. They don't want to buy, they're never ready with the sanitization and the rest. There's confusion because they are saying also that this year will go up to March next year. And 2021 will start in April. So this causes a certain confusion. They do not know what they are going to do between now and March. So we're just waiting to see what will happen on the 4th of January. We're supposed to resume classes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So just
Zambia is the same. Yes, I was saying Zambia is also the same thing. They were supposed to open on the 4th. Then government has come up with a new date. They say they are opening around the 20th, somewhere there.
Okay.
So
brilliant.
in the meantime, we'll just wait.
Just remain
Thank
calm,
you.
hey?
I am, and I thank God for my good health, always healthy, and my family too.
Brilliant. Okay, let's go to, thank you, Barnabas. Let's go to Madeleine. Madeleine with a beautiful tan.
No, not really. Yeah, it's very sad for us that our beaches are closed now because we feel it's very unfair because it's not so busy here by us. So, yeah, I think when you go to Woolies or Pick n Pay or Food Lovers, you get in more contact with people than down at the little beach. But anyway, we obey the rules and so on. I am really trying to slow down because it's always like a brochure, setting up demo classes, thinking about this. When am I going to start? I was thinking of maybe some of our schools start at the 6th. I was thinking maybe to start earlier with some of them. I've already got demo classes in the week of the 11th and of the 18th. So yes, I'm still thinking about that, but I'm really trying to just slow down. I think our pace is just too fast. And
are you successful in slowing down?
I'm really trying. I'm really trying.
All right, we'll check in again next week, to see if you were successful. You know, we are programmed, and that is the way we think, is to always, we have to do something. I have to do this, what I'm going to do next. So to just sit on a deck chair or lying on the beach in Spain and sun tanning and not doing anything, we're not used to that. So it's something, almost a new skill that we have to learn, to just sit and not do anything. Pour yourself a glass of wine, Madeleine. The aeroplane has just gone over here to Botswana.
We don't have aeroplanes flying over Hermanus, but we always say when the first seagull flies over, we're allowed to have a drink. Here's the seafall.
Yeah, all right. Wonderful. Thanks, Madeleine. Good luck. Okay, let's go to maybe Tanya Lynette. Goedemorgen, good morning.
Morning. I've got no news. We've had a very peaceful time. Anyway, starting to think about the new year, but we are definitely starting earlier. We can't wait until the 27th. Most of our nursery schools are opening randomly from the 4th onwards, and we have to get going. We can't wait until the end of the month. Well, various reasons. So I hope that we will be starting and we will be able to get all the things that we need and to get going and whatever, because we need to. We need to. And the most important thing is just then to abide by all the protocols, because I see everybody was very, very worried last night about the announcement. Would that mean that the schools would be closing? And as far as I can gather, and what information that I received afterwards, it's nothing is closing up. It's just that everybody has to abide by the rules. And I think that's the most important with us as well, is to don't slack. You know, keep your SOPs in place and do what you have to do. While I have a moment to ask you something, I would just like to ask about the training. Is the training still happening? Because now there's been a restriction on the gatherings. No gatherings, indoor or outdoor. What's happening with the training? Because that's an important aspect to me, please.
All right, now the training will continue. We're limiting it to 5 people only. We have enough space at head office, so the training will continue from Monday.
Okay.
If we do change, it's also going to be available online. So I don't foresee every day, full day training at head office. I see it maybe scattered. I'll be working on the program this week, or to see how we're going to structure it for next week. So I don't see the people coming in physically every day, but that will be replaced with online Zoom sessions. I'm still trying to get that in my mind, but I'll give more information out.
Okay, I'll speak to you after anyway. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lynette. All right, I see Rudo's also here. Rudo.
Hey, how are you all? It's good. It's actually very cloudy, so I keep on losing you guys. The internet is horrible when it's very cloudy, but I'm enjoying the weather. I'm enjoying lots of water. And we're doing okay.
Are you sure that's water?
We'll speak after this, but it is water. Lots of ice. Lots of ice. Ice is water, right?
All right. Good luck to you guys, Rudo. Regards to Christine and everybody. Okay?
Absolutely. Will do. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. We've got a few minutes left of this meeting. I'd like to go back to James in Cape Town. So James, you also at the beginning of the meeting talked about the COVID cases, and so how's the actual feeling of you guys in Cape Town with regard to January and starting up?
Look, we've also got demos from the 18th onwards, and we've got arrangements with different schools to make contact with them earlier on in January. So we also starting way before the 27th. I think one of the things that, we've been looking for a new instructor, but the problem is not knowing exactly what the outcome will be in terms of, what's going to happen after the 27th. Until there's more clarity, I think we've got our shortlist, we've got people we're going to be talking to next week. The only thing is what promises you make people at this point in time, if we're not too sure. But that's okay. It's something we can deal with locally. But just to go back to the closing of the beaches and everything that Ramaphosa said, as I said, I thought it was his best speech so far, because he was very precise and deliberate in saying, guys, if you don't take responsibility, this thing is going to get out of hand. If he didn't do what he did, we're certainly looking into a very dark space for us as schools coming the end of January. Yeah. So this is a gift to us. I think that's what we need to see this, is that people are being restricted from this thing getting completely out of hand. And the one most incredible thing I think that they've realized, what the government's realized, is don't close down the economy. We have to keep the livelihoods of people going. And as long as that happens, there's opportunities for everybody to go back to work. So I think that's the positive we need to see out of it. He's put a break on it, and he's not shutting down the economy. Keeping the SOPs in place, absolutely fantastic. We just need to make sure that when we go to the school, say, guys, we're going to practice these, and we should be fine. So very positive. Still.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you so much, James. Yeah, as you say, it's a little bit unclear towards the end of January. So we'll know by next, well, we've got a 14-day period now to see what's going to happen after 14 days when everybody's back from holiday, where that scenario is. But until then, our strategy will remain the same. We'll meet on a weekly basis, and we will still open as soon as the schools are open, with the official opening on the 27th, until further notice, or until we get information that's going to change that. So not to lose that perspective.
Yeah.
Brilliant. All right, guys. There's only a few minutes left of this meeting, and I think it's been wonderful to see you and great to get your feedback. And I'm always experiencing a sense of great gratitude with everything that you say as well, with having a roof over your head and things that we're planning. So we know that we are not alone in this. We are together in this, and we're going to get through, and we're going to keep on communicating. All right, so just a message today. Let's remain calm. Let's not fall into chaos, regardless of the president's speech, regardless of what's going to happen next week. Let's be proactive. Let's have a plan. Let's formulate our plan on a weekly basis. And let's be aware of that anxiety gap. So whenever you find yourself thinking about anxious situations that's coming, they're probably not even coming, they only exist in our minds. Give it a name. It's an anxiety gap. Close that gap and come back to today, where it's a beautiful day. We've all got our health, and we can go from here today. All right. So that's all I got for you. I love you guys. And I want to take this opportunity to wish you a wonderful, wonderful last couple of days of 2020. Let's make these days the best in this moment, doing what we have right now. And then I'll see you again I'll see you next year. That is going to be the 5th of January. I'll see you again for the next time. So Happy New Year. Stay indoors, wear your mask, stay safe, and we're looking forward to seeing you soon.
Bye-bye, Dad.
Love you.
Same to you. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Cheers, guys.